Thank you, Nick. The president rejects demands to free Marikana workers and fires wreak havoc in 2 provinces. Good evening. President Jacob Zuma says he will not accede to demands to free 270 Marikana miners by tomorrow. Their lawyers wrote to the president yesterday demanding that the miners be released by 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon, failing which they'll approach the courts. Zuma says he will not interfere in the work of the Marikana Commission or the prosecution of people associated with the shootings. Goldfields has denied claims by labour unions that an unprotected strike at its KDC East mine has been resolved. Spokesperson Sven Lunch says the Wildcat strike is now an issue around a dispute between National Union of Mine Workers members and the branch leadership. Earlier, the NUM and Solidarity claimed that the strike was related to a funeral policy offered by the mine. Lunch has dismissed this, saying that the funeral policy issue was resolved on Wednesday. The NUM spokesperson, Lesiba Seshoka, said earlier that workers would return to work on Monday. Goldfield said yesterday that around 12,000 employees had embarked on an illegal strike. Wildfires have destroyed hundreds of hectares of grazing land and a house at Louwsburg near Pongola in northern KwaZulu-Natal. Ward Councillor George Lamini says the fires, fanned by strong winds, are placing lives and properties at risk. He says it's not clear yet how the fires started.
There is wildfire in many places. Many farms are scorched with fire. Grazing areas are on fire in the majority. Right now, as I'm speaking, it is in one of the orchards. Could kill some people, but worse, it is already a disaster in terms of where are the stock going to feed or graze. And as I'm speaking as well, it is burning around somebody's house. So we are trying to blow it out.
Hundreds of people have been evacuated from Pazulu Lodge and Umgeni Road in Durban after a fire gutted the building. Firefighters are battling with thick pools of smoke which are fanned by strong winds. Emergency staff say no injuries have been reported. The cause of the fire has not been established as yet. In Sandton, about 30 families have been displaced when an abandoned factory in Marlborough caught fire. Emergency Services spokesperson Robert Mulautsi says the families had been living inside the factory. He says 10 people have been treated for burns and smoke inhalation. The roof of the factory collapsed due to the fire. Disaster management in the city of Cape Town says salvaging operations of the disintegrated bulk carrier Seli 1 could cost about 40 million rand. This after crude oil leaked from the stranded vessel at Dolphin Beach, affecting about 1.5 kilometers of coastline. Disaster management spokesperson Wilfred Solomons Johannes says plans are being made to remove the ship.
There is currently engagement on the way by the National Department and the Ministry's office to look at the interventions of how to remove the wreckage in itself. The matter is with the National Treasury seeking a permission and to provide funding to remove the wreckage from the coastline.
Environmentalists have meanwhile appealed to the government to assist in removing the wreckage of the ship. The Southern African Foundation for the Conservation of Coastal Birds CEO Vanessa Strauss.
The ongoing pollution from this wreck is a major concern for us. We can no longer accept the risk that the wreck and the oil that is still in this vessel poses to the marine environment. We have endangered seabirds and other endemic animals along our coastline, and the ongoing threat of oil pollution is something that we cannot accept.